Peace, brothers and sisters. I'm Furious Black. This is my YouTube page, Furious Truth. I kind of wanted to go into the reality of the world and how it plays out in the manipulation that's been taking place in the world that we all reside in. You'd have people that will skew numbers and pick apart aspects of what you're saying in order for you to sound like you are crazy. Information is based off of the knowledge that you obtained through lifetime and the realization that maybe there is a such thing as a supremacy or a superiority. We can't deny the fact that we really don't control anything. Sometimes you would talk to people and they would tell you, oh, we do control stuff, or it's not only a particular group that runs the world. But that's from lack of understanding and lack of looking and perceiving what has been taking place. Like, they go into the Middle East and destroy it. They go into Africa, destroyed it. They want to go with Nazi Germany. They went into Tibet and digged up ancient artifacts. Americas, they uprooted the people and made them think that they were slaves, even if they were Native Americans. They took them from here and took them over to the other side of the world. Not a lot of them, but some. And we still don't pay attention to these things. We think that we know everything and we know it all, and we don't have an inkling of what is really happening in the world that we live in. Like, how is it that these people control everything? They want to put a wall up to stop Mexicans from coming into a place where they had first. They tell you that we're the criminal element all over the news, movies, any type of media. But for some reason we still can't see that the world is plagued with a plague. Something that is in their members or their DNA to just destroy, go to war with everybody. Instead of saying, you know what, this is a Mother Earth and we all live here and we all must be here. We can divide the earth. We don't have to conquer every nation. Maybe this is probably their thought process, that if they were to conquer every nation, that those nations wouldn't conquer them or destroy them. But every other nation in the world doesn't think like that. We only think to destroy a threat, just how the human body destroyed diseases and viruses from within it. You don't think that the earth is doing the same to try to preserve itself? Even through philosophies. These things aren't just pages in a book created by mankind that came out of a big bang, that are not realizing that the universe has a thought process, or the earth might have a thought process, or animals don't think, or the universe doesn't think, or there's not other beings that wants to help man. These philosophies are the things that tell us what's really happening. But we don't really want to go into it because we feel the culture and the philosophy of our culture precedes the mass or the whole. Instead of saying maybe if we take all of these philosophies from Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Zoroastrianism, Hinduism, even the Sumerian tablets, the Gnostic texts, and we put them all together, and we could get a full picture of what's really happening in the global arena, we wouldn't be led astray anymore because we would see. But we don't take the time to do that. We don't take the time to say, maybe these things are happening for a reason, or maybe these things are meant to be set out by the earth using man. Because this is the thing. People say, why do God let good people die? Why don't God stop evil? Why is there evil? And from God not doing anything or not stepping foot in your life, you perceive it as him not trying to help. Right? And I only say him because in my programming of growing up, I always thought God was a him. In my later life, not that I'm super old, but now in my present life, I don't think that he is a him or her. But we attribute these atrocities to a being that we know nothing about. We don't know how it communicates. We don't know how it feels or thinks. We don't know anything. And I believe philosophies are those things that is to give us that understanding. Show us insight into the human psyche. This is what philosophies are. This is probably the way that God is intending to talk to us. Man, female. Yeah, he could go into one man's dream or another man's dream, but how could he be in everybody's dream at one time? See, this is the way we deceive ourselves, thinking that God could be in every single dream of 7 billion people. That's how much they say is on the earth at one time or simultaneously. But people don't learn that that's not true when you learn the philosophies. That these gods aren't really omnipotent beings. They just wanted control over mankind. But to think that God was able to do stuff like that, it shows how we're deceived and we're ignorant of the real situation that pertains to the Almighty. That's what it is. So you have these different books that tell us, listen, the only way I could not control but save you guys is to give you guidelines into protecting one another, protecting each other, and protecting yourselves from the evil forces that plague our universe. There's not only light in the universe, there's also darkness. There's also darkness. You look out at night and what do you see? You see dark. Maybe that is another form of God. But we don't take the time to even perceive or think of these things. We just think that working till we're 40, 50, 60 and retiring with a little bit of money and then living out the last 20, 30 years of our life as old beings, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would God make beings to toil all their days long? Some people are going to be like, oh, but the scriptures say, oh, man sinned, so God made it that we only live 120 years. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That is definitely fine. That's more understanding, right? But what if that God that put that on us wasn't the Almighty or the supreme being of everything? What if he wasn't? Not discounting the Bible. See, this is what people do. They want to say you're discounting the Bible and what it really says. But at the same time, you never went and learned any other religion. You never read any other religion. What they really say, not what the people say, but the books say. You never dissected the books the way you dissect the scripture, the Bible. You never did that. So how can you say that those gods are fake? Or those gods or those writings are not real? Just the same way that they would do to you, because they never read the Bible. They never read anything about Hebrew Israelites. Nobody's ever talked about Hebrew Israelites in the whole entire world. Up until the 60s, we come and we start telling people that we're the actual Israelites. Right? But what about in the time of Shem, when there was the children of Shem, the promise of Seth, the chosen of Seth? Oh, you didn't know about that. There was always a select group, but always a remnant of the people. The remnant of the people is Israel. Of all the earth, Israel is the remnant of the people of the earth. That is to keep true to the Most High, the creation, the light, the pure light. That makes you a God. We're all gods. We're able to create. You're able to think and create something from nothing. Who thought about making chairs that we could sit on that's super comfy and then went out and found the materials to make it? Or homes with AC and fans and light fixtures within it, or electricity, way to harness it. Foods, peanut butters. You're able to do that. You might not be able to do it with the twinkling of the eye, or with telekinetics, or things of superhero movies, or whatever the case may be. But you're still able to do it nonetheless. You just have to figure out how to do it, and then follow the formula of how to do it to make whatever you want to be possible. That makes you a God. You're able to tell by people's reaction in their faces how they feel. Sad, mad. It's kind of mind reading. We just had to develop those things a little better. We don't think we can, so we don't do it. This is part of our problem. When we think we know, when we lean on our own understanding, instead of researching all of these thousands of books that our ancestors left us, then we fall off. We don't really understand what's really going on. We don't really understand. I was reading the Lost Book of Enki. This is the last part. I was reading the Lost Book of Enki, and it said a being came to him in his dream and told him to go tell Noah to build an ark. He thought it was an emissary from his father anew. He asked his father anew if it was him after all of this stuff had happened. After all the flood and everything. And his father said, no, I didn't send them. Didn't send them. So we always, throughout these books, seen a twinkling of the real Most High through Christ, because Christ is the emissary, the messenger, the word of that true creation, the true force of the creator, the true creator. He's the word of that. He only speaks whatever that is. He can't do nothing less. We can do differently because we're made of two different things. We're made of the light source and of the dark force. That's what makes us unique. That's what makes us unique in all of these books. Even in Zoroastrianism, they say the Lord is an ever-burning fire, ever-burning light. Now, when you take a match, you put it up in between the light and the wall, you don't see a shadow. It tells you in this place, in the Gnostic scriptures, it tells you in this place where Christ and all of the real supreme beings which come from the fourth reside, there is no chateaus. But what I say all this to say this, man. Our reality has been hijacked. Our perception of reality has been hijacked as well. What we perceive is just like you're looking through foggy glasses. But you can see more once you get more understanding. You can see all the triangles, the inverted triangles, the pyramid, the 6-pointed star, the 5-pointed star. All these different symbols that represent the Anunnaki, which are the children, the devil and his angels that been here from day one, which represented themselves as Enki, Enlil, Anu, Zeus, Poseidon, Thor, Odin, Horus, Osiris. Even the Hindu gods, Shiva, Shiva, there's two other ones. I can't remember their names. Quetzalcoatl, and all those guys as well. But in the Gnostics, they tell you it was one that was from these beings that disowned his fathers. He was Thoth. A lot of people know him as Thoth, Hermes McGinnis. He lived in this place right here, America, in the Americas, which was Atlantis a long, long time ago. Where these beings were, where they have millions of different statues and architecture that no man has ever built since or after that. So all I'm saying is, let's not act like we know everything. Let's not lean on our own understanding. We can't only just learn the scriptures and feel that we have it all, because then those people that are a little more astute in these other religions can confound you and trick you into believing that, yo, maybe I don't know who God is. Maybe I am not an Israelite. And that is the biggest mistake that you could ever think, because now you're bringing doubt into your mind. So with that, I'm Furious Black. This is Furious Truth. Thanks for watching, guys.